Hello and welcome back to 365 Days with mxmtoon, but with a twist. I'm Maya, a singer, songwriter, video maker, and Oakland native. I'm also a huge fan of history. I love untold stories, gross facts, hidden secrets, anything weird, dark, and funky from the past. This month we have some very special episodes. Each week one of my friends will be taking over the podcast to share their favorite deep cuts with you. Rounding out this fun month of guest hosts is the lovely and very, very funny Noah Kahan. You might know him from songs like Hurt Somebody and False Confidence. We also did a collab back in October of 2020 called Pride. Noah, take it away.
It's 365 with Noah Kahan. New facts every day, so don't leave too soon. I'm gonna teach you stuff, no it won't be tough. Gonna go a year till you've had enough. It's 365 with Noah Kahan.
Today in 2019, Pope Francis donated $500,000 for migrants stranded in Mexico who were trying to reach the U.S. This donation came less than a month after the Pope critiqued then-President Trump's immigration policies. Let's learn more about what the Pope's donation meant and how it's still relevant today. In March 2013, Jorge Mario Bergoglio became the head of the Catholic Church. Known as Pope Francis, his rise to prominence was meaningful for many people, who applauded him for his humility. Born in Argentina, he's the first ever Latin American Pope. As someone who worked as a bouncer and a janitor in his youth, working-class Catholics could see themselves in him. As the son of an immigrant himself, Pope Francis has been vocal about issues involving immigration during his papacy. In 2016, when Donald Trump was elected president of the United States, tensions along the U.S.-Mexico border increased. Trump wanted to build a wall to deter migrants. These nationalistic, quote-unquote, America First policies contradict the idea that all people deserve to be treated well, regardless of where they were born. When people from Mexico and Central America attempt to cross the border, it's often because they're fleeing an unsafe situation. Coming to the United States might feel like the only option for people living in the midst of poverty, violence, war, and persecution. But when they arrive at the border on denied entry, then what? Pope Francis called Trump's policies not Christian. In 2018, this became even more urgent for the Pope when 6 migrant caravans totaling around 75,000 people were denied entry to the U.S. and stranded in northern Mexico. Many of these people had traveled thousands of miles on foot from Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala. So, Pope Francis donated $500,000 to assist these stranded migrants. These funds came from Peter's Pence, the organization that collects donations to the Catholic Church. The money was distributed among 16 Catholic dioceses, districts under the care of a bishop, which helped to house, feed, and clothe the migrants. Years later, we're still in the midst of a crisis at the border. For those who did manage to cross into the United States under the Trump administration, many young children were separated from their families, leaving thousands of children in overcrowded, under-resourced facilities. When the coronavirus broke out, Trump completely shut the border. But when President Biden took office in early 2021, more and more people tried to cross, hoping that the Biden administration would be more than willing to help. Unfortunately, conditions are still dire. Migrants seeking asylum remain unable to enter the U.S., with the exception of unaccompanied minors. In Tijuana, a Mexican city that borders California, many migrants are living in tents with limited food, water, and supplies, waiting for their turn, which might never come. It's possible that when COVID-19 becomes more manageable, the U.S. will admit asylum seekers once more. However, no one knows when that would even happen. Pope Francis' donation made a difference, but outside of the Catholic Church, many more organizations are also working towards justice for migrants at the border. In Texas, Raices provides legal service to refugees and immigrants, and the Annunciation House offers basic necessities like shelter and food. The Red Cross also offers aid to people at the border. Regardless of our own religious affiliations, the Pope's words resonate. He said that we should build bridges instead of building walls. Now let's talk about music. Today in 2006, Rolling Stones guitarist Keith Richards fell out of a palm tree in Fiji and was flown to a hospital in New Zealand. At the time, he was vacationing at an exclusive resort with his family and bandmate Ronnie Wood's family. Given the rock icon's wild past, rumors spread that he had gotten into a jet ski accident. But really, he was just sitting on a branch about 7 feet above ground. When he jumped down, he misjudged the distance and fell, hitting his head. It was only 2 days later that he suffered serious pain and realized something was wrong. It turned out that he was suffering from a brain hemorrhage and needed surgery. The Rolling Stones had to postpone tour dates while Richard recovered, but thankfully, he did make a full recovery. This wasn't Richard's finest moment, so here's a later fact about the legendary guitarist. Of course, we know that Richards can shred. But did you know he can act too? He appears in 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies, playing Captain Teague, father of Jack Sparrow. On this day in 2021, I found out that my little brother pronounces the word quinoa as Queen Noah. Like, he was like, oh, cool, like that's the acai bowl that has Queen Noah in it. I go, Queen Noah? I thought he was like saying something about me. And he was like, yeah, Queen Noah, like those little like beads. And I was like, no, that's quinoa. It's pronounced quinoa. And I just thought that was an interesting little moment in time. Thank you all for coming back in time with me. And remember to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And to come back tomorrow for more stories from the past.
It's 365 with new facts every day, so don't leave too soon. I'm gonna teach you stuff, no it won't be tough. Gonna go a year till